शस्य श्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्नां पुलकितयामिनीं कुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनीं सुहासिनीं सुमधुरभाषिणीं सुखदां मातरं वन्दे कोटि कोटि कंठ कल कल निनाद करले कोटि कोटि भुजै धृत खर खरवाले अबला अनुमानक बोले बहुबलधारिणी नमामि तारिणी रिपुदलवारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुमि विद्या तुमि धर्म तुमि रिधि तुमि मर्म त्वं हि प्राणाः शरीरे बाहुते तुमि मा शक्ति हृदये तुमि मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गढ़ी मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरण धारिणी कमला कमल दल विहारिणी वाणी विद्यादायिनी नमामि त्वां नमामि कमला ममला अतुला सुजला सुफलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं भरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
भारत माता की जय।
Welcome back. I am Navanita Roy Majumdar from Kolkata, a member of VSC Solution team here in India. VSC Solution is a business coaching and consultancy firm started by a group of Ivy League business graduates with business leaders from Silicon Valley. We specialized in coaching and handholding startups in their journey of manifesting business objectives. I have a great pleasure to introduce the resource person of the day, Mr. Arun Subramanian. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुंड महाकाय
Intention drives energy. Let us create within ourselves the intention to achieve the highest possible level of expertise in whatever we do. And may Lord Ganesha help us in removing those obstacles in achieving our objective. Talking about obstacles and objectives brings us to the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that we are kept from our goal not by obstacles but by a clear path to a lesser goal. When we are satisfied with the vision of a clear path to a lower level objective, we don't step out of our comfort zone and in the process lose out on everything that we can achieve at the highest level. Let us not do that, gentlemen. Let us aim for the highest level of possible expertise in whichever field we decide to step into. In the last session, we close with an exercise on brand identity. You ask 5 questions of yourself. What are my core values? What do I stand for? How do I want to be perceived by the world? What personality traits do I want to project? And finally, what are the important relationships in my life? What are my core values? What do I stand for? How do I want to be perceived? What personality traits do I want to project? And what are the important relationships in my life? After this, we start our branding journey. But before that, I would like you to look at something and tell me what you understand from this. What is this picture? What does it signify?
Psychiatrist consulting room.
Okay. So what is happening?
Session is going on. Patient is relaxed, or the subject is relaxed, and the doctor is listening, and he intervenes whenever it is necessary and allows to open up the subject or the patient.
Why?
To actually go to the root of the problem and to be helpful in actually overcoming the obstacles. That's why the patient goes to the psychiatrist.
Excellent. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to try and tell me what exactly is happening here?
Psychologist is trying to, he's asking questions and the lady is answering, and he is allowed the lady to be relaxed and, afforded her enough privacy without any third or fourth person. He's trying to get to the crux of the issue that is bugging her.
He is trying to get, or she is trying to get?
He's helping her to get to the crux of the issue.
Okay, so he is guiding her to reach the core of the problem, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, anyone else?
I think husband and wife both are in different state of mind.
Oh, you see them as husband and wife?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, friends. This is, as rightly observed, a psychoanalytical session going on, where the first condition is the patient is put at total comfort. And then the patient is encouraged. The doctor does not ask questions. He encourages the patient to start introspecting and talking about everything which is there within her or him. And in the process, what happens is a process called catharsis. Catharsis is when everything sheds out, comes out, and the patient reaches the core of what he or she really is. And in the process, understands the reason for the complexities within herself And by untangling the complexities, there is a cure which is effected. In other words, the patient treats herself. The doctor cannot treat her problems because he does not know what the problem is. In the same way, branding is something which you do. I cannot provide a brand for you. I cannot create a brand for you. You will have to create your brand, and that you will be able to do only if you untangle all the complexities which are there inside you and get to the core of what you really are. And this is going to require something very much like the session that is going on here. Only thing is, it is going to be a group psychoanalytical session where each one of you will share with the others a guided catharsis by which you will be able to identify what really you are, what you want to become, how you want the world to see you. Before we go into the brand building, there are 4 traps which you need to be careful about. These are called the brand identity trap. Traps which spring up when you try to create your brand identity. The first trap is called a brand image trap. The problem occurs, just a minute. My WhatsApp was on, that's why that noise was coming. You could hear it, isn't it?
Yes, yes. That
Okay, so I put
notification
it
sound was there.
on. Yeah, that's why I, closed it. The first is called the brand image trap. This problem occurs when you let the ecosystem in which we are all there dictate what our image is. In other words, brand image is from the past. And brand identity is looking towards the future. Because of the various things which has happened in your past, you would have created an image for yourself in your mind and in the minds of the people around you. When you try to work through that brand image and develop it, you get into a brand image trap. The brand image is a good starting point to help you decide what sort of action you need to take to build the identity which you want, but it should not become the central point around which you build it. Let me give you a simple example. Narayan Murthy of Infosys. He was working as a chief information officer with IIM Ahmedabad. I think you all must be aware of it. During that period, he opened a company by the name Softronics. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. Infosys was not his first venture, it was his second venture. Softronics failed miserably and closed within 1.5 years, it went bankrupt. After that, Narayan Murthy went and joined Patni Computers. There he, along with 6 other people, started Infosys with a paid-up capital of 10,000 rupees. The story is that Sudha Narayan Murthy gave that 10,000 rupees to her husband on loan. This is the story. The whole world knows that Sudha Narayan Murthy gave 10,000 rupees to Narayan Murthy, and 7 people together started Infosys. But how many of you know that it nearly went bankrupt in 3 years' time? And one of the founders left inventory. And then it was financed by an American equity firm who also helped them to get lots of business, and then Infosys took off. This is one part, keep it aside. There are many entrepreneurs who have started with small businesses and failed miserably. And then they again start another business. And in this business, when they are doing, they keep repeatedly talking about what they have learned from the old business. But did you see Narayan Murthy doing that? No. Let me give you another example. Bharati Mittal. Airtel is not his first company. It is his fourth company. Before these three companies, including Beetle telephones, button telephones, they failed. Do you hear him talking about that? He doesn't. Let us take another person, Richard Branson. He has launched 400 companies. We talk about Virgin Airlines, and various other successful companies. But do we talk about the old ones which have bankrupted and closed down? Does he talk about it? He doesn't. In other words, all these successful people, they have escaped the brand identity trap. They don't talk about their past. They talk about only what is there in their mind for the future. Every time you talk about the past, you remind the world of your mistakes. You remind yourself of the mistakes. And you remind the ecosystem that there is a possibility you can make the mistake again. So the first trap in building an identity is to revisit the past. And in revisiting the past, embed the learnings and the ideas of the past into the future. This is a trap which anyone seriously intending to build an identity should avoid. The past is dead and buried. The learning has already been, integrated into you, personalized into you, internalized into you. Don't reset it. Then we come to the next trap called the brand position trap. What is a brand position? The brand position is the combination of your brand identity and the value proposition that you have to offer to your ecosystem. What happens? The brand position is a statement of purpose, a statement of promise that you make to the ecosystem in which you are there. Many a person turns a brand position, the statement, into a tagline problem. And they first arrive at the tagline instead of first creating a brand identity, then a value proposition, and then combine these two to create a brand position. What they do is they get enamored of how they would like to be seen by the people. And then that brand position, that tagline becomes the reason for building a brand identity. You chip away at your identity to align it with the message that you want to give to the market. This is called the brand position trap. We should never do that. We should first build a brand identity, define the value proposition, and then combine these to create our brand position. The third comes the external perspective trap. The external perspective trap is a wonderful trap which is very, very difficult to escape. What values you stand by and what purpose you want to pursue is what is an external perspective. A brand identity is based upon the disciplined effort to define your strengths, weaknesses, values, and visions you have. The trap is sprung when you start articulating what you think the market wants from you. The market is having a current image, good, bad, ugly. When you start defining your brand identity and value proposition in response to what you think the market wants, then an external perspective trap is created. Your brand identity is based upon a disciplined effort to define your strengths, weaknesses, and values and mission. That means it is all about you, not about how the market is currently perceiving you or what the market expects from you. But when you start thinking, what does the customer want? The customer need becomes more valuable to you, then an external perspective trap is sprung, and you will not be able to create a brand identity for yourself. You will subjugate your brand identity to the need of the market. Then we come finally to the attribute fixation trap. The attribute fixation trap is a very classic trap where the superficial elements of you as a person become the driving force of your brand identity. This is a trap in which many big people have fallen and they have been destroyed. One classic example is a trap. This trap got sprung in the war between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. When Coca-Cola started conducting a trial against Pepsi to find out which is tastier, and in the process came out with new Coca-Cola, and the new Coke bombed like nobody's business. And there was worldwide rejection of the Coke. They started losing market share. They had to at one stage withdraw the new Coke and go back to the old Coke. They are totally forgotten that Coke did not mean the attribute of taste, look. Coke had a character of its own, which had made it the number one in the world. Coke was perennially positioned as a drink which was going to replace water. They forgot the intrinsic value which was being offered by Coke, and they went for an attribute called taste in fighting against Pepsi, and in the process failed. You might think that you are a very good business person, but what is the value which is there within you? Doing business well is an attribute. What is the value which is created, which has enabled you to do that? Don't ever forget that. Don't go only after the attribute when you are going to be creating a brand identity. Remember these four. In other words, what are these four standing for? The brand identity trap. Don't mistake how the world sees you today as what you are. A brand identity is about how you want the world to see you tomorrow. Number two, don't define your brand identity based on the brand position in your mind. Remove it. The brand identity should guide the positioning and not the other way around. Your brand identity and your value proposition should create the positioning. The positioning should not create brand identity. You might think in your mind that you want to be known as a biggest, the best IoT professional or the best software writer in the world. But don't allow that to, color what you really are. What your identity is and what value proposition you bring should decide what the brand positioning is. We get hooked to an idea and we start building everything around that idea, and in the process lose out on all the good things in life. Number three, don't let the perceived need of your ecosystem try to define your identity. That is the external factor trap. Don't allow the external factors to trap you. It is like cutting your head to match the cap. Don't do that. Cut the cap to fit your head. And finally, you are much more than what you appear to be. Don't play to the, the strength of what others think. Play to your strength, your inherent strength, the intrinsic strength. With a firm understanding of all these four traps and how to avoid them, we will move forward into the elements of a powerful brand identity.
Sir, I want to
Any
ask-
question?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Just a minute. Yes.
Sir, Sir, that second one, when you mentioned brand positioning trap, in which you
Yeah.
said that when the tagline has to come from both brand identity as well as value proposition, it should not
Yes.
come just from value proposition. But
No, not even the value proposition. What happens is, Sanjay,
Huh.
it's Sanjay who is asking, isn't it? The
Yes.
voice appears.
yes,
So Sanjay, what happens is, we have an idea about ourselves, right?
yes,
Let us say, assume that I have in my mind the thought that I want to be known as the best trainer in the world. Now I sit down to create my brand identity. I should not allow this thought in my mind that I want to be the best trainer in the world to color my creation of my brand identity. What do you think will happen if I do that? I will miss out on all the other intrinsic qualities which I have, which might help me to become something even much better. Now, let me take an example. What would you like to be known as?
like that go to
What
for
do you have? Just don't think, just say.
like go to expert for process automation.
Yeah. So you want to be known as an expert in process automation.
Yes.
Okay. Have you analyzed your strengths, your weaknesses, the opportunities which are available all around you, your intrinsic qualities and everything before you have come to this conclusion? Or because you are a process automation professional, you want to be known as the best process automation person? Which one?
Yeah. So which means there are other dimensions to it. That's what you are saying.
You're not even explore any of the other dimensions. You are working as a process automation professional, so you have simply come to the conclusion that you want to be known as the best process automation person.
So
Do you realize 2 years back, before the COVID, I was the CEO of an anti-cancer company doing billions of dollars business. Now, at that stage, if someone had asked me, what do I want to be known as? What would I say? I would have said, I would like to be known as the best CEO in the world, right?
yes, sir.
Is that what I want to be known as today?
Yeah, it has changed.
Why did it change? And is it true? Is it final?
You are
Could
still,
it not change tomorrow?
you are evolving, sir.
I am not evolving. I have not analyzed myself. I have not created a brand for myself. Now tell me one thing. Mahatma Gandhi was a failed barrister, and today he is the Mahatma of India. If the Quit India movement had not taken place, what would have been his brand? Is my question valid or not?
Yes, sir.
He slept with his 2 nieces and called it experiments with truth. Supposing someone else were to sleep with 2 nieces, what would you call him? Hard-hitting questions, isn't it?
Yes.
This is not to cast aspersions on anyone. I am not an expert on any of these things. All that I'm trying to tell is that what we talk about is something entirely different. Creating a brand is all about introspecting, understanding yourself, creating a valid, stable, identity which can stand the test of time. Mahatma Ji, Gandhi Ji was a great person. He was a blessing to India. I don't want anyone to misunderstand what I have said. All that I'm saying is, you see, all things when viewed in a particular context are circumstantial in nature.
Sir,
Today we have,
sir, just related to the same only. Like if I have 2 products, so there will be 2 value propositions, 2 taglines, if 2 different products. Like one is automation.
Obviously.
Okay, that's fine.
Obviously. Because see, you will create a brand for each product separately, isn't it?
Okay.
But there is only one Sanjay. Sanjay is not 2. So
Yes.
in creating a image brand identity for Sanjay, we have to create an identity. You see, you have an identity, you have got certain strengths, you've got certain weaknesses, you've got certain capabilities,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, this capability has only brought you to the extent of your wanting to be known as a process automation expert. These same capabilities could also help you in another field. If you create a brand identity as a process automation expert today, tomorrow if you need to switch, there will be a clash. What will you do then?
Okay.
If I have to brand myself as a person adept in cognition, understanding cognitive science, and a practitioner of cognitive science, then as a CEO also my brand stands, as a trainer also my brand stands. Correct or not?
Yes.
But if I were to say I want to be known as the best CEO, then I cannot be known as the best trainer.
So which means you have actually two brand identities.
No, if I make that brand, then I will not be a brand. I am just a brand image, because I am talking based upon my past. I am not talking based upon the future. Today, you see, 2 years back, I was a CEO. Today, I am a trainer. Tomorrow, I could be a practitioner. I could be anything. But if my brand identity is a person expert in cognitive science, be it a CEO, be it a trainer or a practitioner, it stands. Because as a CEO, I can practice my cognitive science in managing people. As a trainer, I can practice my cognitive science in managing people. As a practitioner of human relations, I can manage people by practicing my cognitive science.
Okay, this I understood. Okay, thank you.
Understood?
Yeah.
So you see, it is necessary for you to go deep down inside and then evolve the, what do you call it? Brand identity that you want to create.
Right.
Any other questions from anybody?
Rajalakshmi.
Yes, madam.
The last one, can you just elaborate, sir? Attribute fixation, sir.
Attribute. What is an attribute? Attribute is something which is visible in front of you. Attribute is something which is visible. But intrinsic qualities are not visible. Taste is an attribute. Color is an attribute. Temperature is an attribute.
Height,
Smoothness
weight,
is an attribute. Yeah.
height and weight.
All these are attributes.
Yes, yes.
All these are attributes. See, anything which is visible and measurable is an attribute. Don't get carried away only by that.
And all males, you know, they are class, and all features in that are attributes.
Okay. Now let's move on. Anybody else? Any other question? Now let us see what are the 7 elements which constitute a brand identity. Each one of you will have to work on creating all these 7 elements in you, defining all these 7 elements. Number 1 is the anchor statement. What is the go-to description of who you are? What do you do? Sometimes referred to as the elevator pitch. It is also called the elevator pitch. Can everyone mute, please? I can hear some background noise coming. Number 2, the unique branding proposition, your unique proposition. What is it about what you do or how you do it that makes you unique, distinct and special? What sets you apart? If anchor statement is about what you do, why you are the go-to person, unique proposition is why you. Why should people look at you to do that? Anchor statement is what is the go-to description of who you are and what do you do? And unique proposition is why should people come to you for doing it? The third is the tone and temperament. What is the consistent mood, tenor, quality, character, and manner that you bring to all your interactions. You know, people say he is a very aggressive person. He is very enthusiastic. He is very calm and composed. What is the tone and tenor you bring to each and everything that you do? It has to be consistent. What is the brand energy? What can you be counted to contribute at all times in all circumstances? We will see each one of them in detail, how to analyze, how to understand it. Number 5, what is your signature story? Why do you do what you do? What is the essential story that brought you to this position? You know, everyone has a story to tell why they are what they are. If you ask Rajalakshmi ma'am why she is a chartered accountant, why she likes doing all these things, definitely she will have a story to tell. Each and every one of us has a story as to why we are like this. Shirish, don't you have a story as to why you went into the armed forces and then why you came out and why you are doing what you are doing?
Very much, sir. Absolutely.
And that story will have some essence in it. I'm sure each and every one of us here has a story which we like to tell as to why we are the way we are. Why, Bala, am I right? Do you have a story about why you are the way you are? And you know,
Yes,
we
sir,
love
yes.
telling that story.
Yes, yes, very much.
We all have a story. What is your story? What is guiding you? What is it you have wedded yourself to? And then, what is the signature service? What are your core competencies and offers? What are you offering the world? What are your core competencies? And then finally, your SWOT analysis. What are your brand enhancers and reducers? This can also be called the brand enhancers and reducers. What are your strengths, weaknesses? What opportunities do you see in front of you? What are the threats you see to you as an individual? These 7, your anchor statement, which is what you do, the unique proposition, why you to do it. Number 3, the tone and temperament. What emotions do you bring to it? Brand energy. What is it you can be identified for through your energy? A signature story. What is the story of your life? What do you repeatedly tell yourself in the world for justifying what you are? Signature service. What do you offer? What is it that you love to do which you are offering to the world? And finally, what are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? All these 7 put together, when you have defined, your brand identity will automatically evolve, and that will be permanent in nature, barring a few adjustments here and there over time, so that you can align yourself with the new learnings and new teachings that have come your way. Any questions?
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. You are
Tell me.
talking about brand energy.
Yes.
Can you elaborate more about brand energy, sir?
Yes. Now let us say there is a person. You take a problem to him. He says, don't worry, Bala, we will set it right. What is he doing? He is giving you assurance. The other person, he starts questioning you. Whose fault is it? How did this happen? Why did this happen? What is he doing? He's analyzing. The third person, tries to find out how you can take advantage of this position. The fourth person starts looking at what are the resources which will be required if you have to handle this. See, each person will look at it from a different angle. He is bringing a different energy to it. Everyone does not bring the same energy. You understand what I mean?
Yes, yes.
There are
Yes, sir.
pacifiers, there are encouragers, there are advocates, there are analysts, there are dissectors, all sorts of people are there. What are you? What
Okay.
energy are you bringing? What profession or what identity will it be aligned with? You try to project yourself as a person who is a helper for the world. Let us assume you want the world to think that Bala is there for us to help. And you are one of those types who keeps digging into why things are like this. Will you make people comfortable with your identity of being a helper?
No.
The more you start digging, the more he is going to feel uncomfortable. So you see, what energy do you bring? Many people, this is where they make a mistake. You take a simple example, a doctor. There are many doctors, who believe in creating fear in the mind of the patient. They'll say, you should not do this, you should not do that, you should not do this, you should not do that. And there are some doctors who will say, Arey, don't worry, I'm giving you the medicine, take the medicine, everything will become okay. Then he asks, can I do this? Wait till the medicines are over, don't do anything. After that, we will decide. He is not telling you no at anything. Like there is a chartered accountant here, so I will take a chartered accountant as another example. There are chartered accountants who will keep throwing up problems and everything. Oh, this will happen. Your thing will come for scrutiny. And then, this will happen, that will happen. And there are others who will say, we will see now, we will do it. If it comes, we will see. What is to be done, we will work it out. All the papers are there. Both types are there. There are some who will say, tell me, what do you want? We will do accordingly, then we will see. So you see, all types are there. So what energy do you bring to the transaction? How do you want, see, you have to first understand, Bala, that if you want to create an identity for yourself, it has to be aligned principally with what you really are.
Okay.
You can't create an identity of something which you aren't. If you are a greedy person, if you are a selfish person, if you are a person who is very accumulative in nature, project that sort of identity. What's wrong in it? A greedy, selfish, accumulative person is very good for the family and society. Then only the society will be prosperous, the family will be prosperous. Why should you think that greed, selfishness, and accumulative nature is bad? It all depends upon how you project it.
Gordon Gekko statement, sir. Greed is good.
Greed is
Gordon
good.
Yeah.
So you see, now you see, that fellow said greed is good, he became famous. So you see, understand, define yourself correctly, align all these things, all these sevens properly, so that Balachandra will, come to the surface, and then, you can really project yourself to the world in the correct way. Otherwise, there will be misalignment, and every day you will be fighting a battle to establish something which the people do not see. Because when you try to project an image about yourself, an identity for the world will cross-check.
Okay.
They will not accept you just like that. And once they accept, they will follow you to the corner of the world. That is human nature. Till we accept something, we keep on analyzing. Once we accept, even the worst thing that person does, we will justify it. He need not justify it. So take the trouble and do that.
Fine, sir. Right, sir.
So what is the first thing? So what do? Just imagine. There are 3 types of brand articulation. There are 3 ways people articulate the brand. The first is called, I ask you, Bala, just for the sake of argument, I ask you.
Yes, sir.
So what do? Simple question. This question we must have asked thousands of times to thousands of people, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the anchor statement. This is the opportunity for you to begin telling me about the brand that you stand for.
Okay.
50% of the people will indulge in what is called brand rambling. They go round and round and round and round about what they do, but then, ultimately they will tell you what they are doing, but they would have taken 1 hour. And the only thing which will remain in your mind is, my goodness, what a stupid guy I am that I went and asked this fellow, what do you do? I am a CEO and a scientist. I own a biotech firm. We specialize in mating habits of flies. Their scientific name is Drosophila. Sometimes they are called vinegar flies or wine flies, but I just call them by their common name. Who asked all these things? You tell me, who asked? That fellow will continue. I have a particular focus on female wine flies, mating habits, but the females have been less researched. It's an exciting study because female fruit flies turns out is processing the information in a brain in order to make a decision. Rambling, total, utter nonsense. They will not be able to come right down to what they are doing in a crisp way, telling what they do, how they affect the other person, and what is the overall effect of what they are doing. That is what you should be telling, isn't it? It should not take more than 3 to 4 sentences. But what do? You continue on and on and on. The second is something called the brand confusion. This person is so bewildered and unclear and vague about their brand that when you ask them what they do, supposing he is a coach and you ask him, what do you do? I'm a coach. Now starts the confusion. So what kind of coaching do you do? I work with people and make their dreams come true. What kind of dreams? All kinds of dreams. I help people find their passion and achieve it. How do you do that? With my coaching program. Did you move 1 inch in this answer anywhere? Could you get any idea? Okay, with my coaching program. What specifically do you do in your coaching program? Again, you see the first question has appeared. What do you do? I help people identify what their dreams are and how to achieve it. So you see, the whole thing is going to go all over it. This is called brand confusion. The third is brand clarity. The human brain is hardwired to find pattern. And our psychology is structured to assign meaning to those patterns. In terms of branding, when you can explain what you do in a way that the listener can very quickly and easily fit into a pattern, you have achieved brand clarity. You will achieve it. But you should be able to help him, understand very clearly what it is you are telling. For instance, let us say you are a merger and acquisition specialist. Somebody asks you, what do you do? You can say, I help small business and entrepreneurs retire and create financial freedom for themselves. I lead mergers and acquisition. The industry has a 40% success rate. I have 78% success rate. I have sold 300 businesses in the last 15 years, and 80% of the businesses I purchase, I sell successfully. Now you see, goes and sits in the mind of that person. Now he has seen a pattern. Oh, this guy buys small businesses and sells them profitably. If I want to sell my business, he is the person I should go to. Down. This is called brand clarity. The first is brand rambling. When you say something and then you go straight away into all the things associated with what you are doing, which are not relevant at all and which will distract the person. In the process, you take a long time to explain what you do. And your mind does not remember any of those things. There is something called the primacy recency effect. People remember the first part of what you're telling and the last part of what you're telling. And mostly 90% of whatever is told in between is lost. That is the reason the shorter the sentences, the shorter the messages, the more perfectly it will fit into. You know, I don't know how many of you remember, but in our childhood, in my childhood at least, when we used to go for examinations, our parents used to tell, essay, write at least 7-8 pages. First paragraph should be excellent. Last paragraph should be excellent. Try whatever is possible to write in the
In between.
in between whatever you write. Why? Because the invigilator will read the first paragraph and the last paragraph. You know, there used to be a joke during our time. Bobby was a movie which was released at that time. So we used to say, "Arey yaar, how was the thing? First class, yaar. Pura Bobby likh ke aaya hu." So Bobby movie has written in between, first paragraph fantastic, last paragraph fantastic. Don't write, we should not be doing that here. But that is to explain to you that the more crisp and the more meaningful the first and the last will be, the more effective it will be. Now just imagine, my dear friends, I want you to pretend, I want you to all to pretend that 1 year has passed from today. We are in December 2022. December 2022, you have gone to a restaurant which has a high back like this. You are sitting there, waiting for your coffee and snacks to come the way this lady is sitting. Just behind that table and that seating are a group of people who are talking. It is human nature, you know, that when we hear some noise, we try to catch what it is that they are telling. This eavesdropping is a basic human nature. However much you may try to avoid, you can't avoid it. Suddenly you realize they are talking about you and your company and your business and you as a professional or a person or whatever it is. Suddenly you realize that they are talking about you. And the voice sounds very familiar. What would you want them to say about you? What would you want them to answer to 3 questions which I'm going to ask you now? Just imagine you are sitting in a restaurant with a high back chair. As you are relaxing, waiting for the coffee and snacks to come, you suddenly hear voices coming from behind you. The voices, when you hear, you realize are discussing you. And they seem to be people who know you very well. What would you want them to say for these 3 questions? What you do? Let us say someone asks another person, okay, by the way, what does he do? Second, the results you produce. And 3, the qualities with which you do your work, leading to a bigger picture of what you contribute. These are the 3 questions I want you to find an answer. You are listening and they are talking. If these 3 questions they were discussing, what you do, the results you produce, the qualities with which you do your work, leading to a bigger picture of what you contribute. Please take a snapshot of this. Take a screenshot. Have you taken? Has a screenshot been taken?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I am going to, there are 24 people. I am going to split you into 4 rooms. Okay? Assign manually.
Hello.
Yes.
Again, screenshot request. I have not taken. Going slow.
Just a minute. Please take the screenshot. Taken?
Yes, taken, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me how to assign manually? Wait.
Sir, you can hold on the name and shift them to the different rooms, sir.
Okay. Wait, there is, don't go in, just a minute, wait. How to do it, Suma?
So when you allot, you will get that breakout room list. You click on that particular name.
Just a minute, okay, okay. Open all rooms. Assign to one. Yeah. Yes, please go to your rooms.
Sir, in the room, you have given 3 questions, no?
3 questions.
Okay.
Okay, those 3 questions you have to find an answer to.
So we have
What
to
do
take
you
some
do?
case.
What you do? No, you don't take any case. Each one of you will work with the others for you.
Oh,
The results you produce, the qualities with which you do your work leading to a bigger picture of what you contribute.
okay.
Okay?
So this is for how much time, sir?
Interact with people, it is for 45 minutes.
So this is about an individual asking these 3 questions and arriving at an answer.
গৌরব তোমরা দুজন জয়েন করছো না? গৌরব So should we start? Let's start with room number 3.
Suresh sir, we are room number 3.
Yes, please.
Suresh, please mute. Unmute.
Who is speaking?
Mr. Suresh, please unmute.
Right, sir. Shall I right now read it out?
Please.
Yeah. Tasneem madam wants to project herself as a person. I spread wellness in society as a yoga art trainer. I am providing sustainable health solutions, imbibing yogic approach in daily lives in my students. Help in healthy well-being through yogic philosophy of living. That is what she has said. Second,
No, I just a minute, Mr. Suresh, I was very clear that don't tell that is what she said. It is a group activity. Each one of you are responsible for this.
It's actually our contribution.
Yeah.
It is our contribution, sir. Sorry.
So okay.
I stand.
The first question is, what do you do?
Yeah.
I spread wellness in society as a yoga trainer. Could anything be understood from this? Yeah, let us assume I am a person. All of you mute, please. There is too much of background noise. Let us assume I distribute pamphlets about yoga and its goodness in house to house. Am I not spreading wellness in society as a yoga person?
Correct, sir.
Then where is it? What do you do? Second, what is the impact of it on the people? I am providing sustainable health solutions, imbibing yogic approach in daily lives in my student. Is this an English class or are you trying to tell what is happening? I told repeatedly in your room that one extra word will mean the effect will be diluted. Still, you people come up with this. Third, help in healthy well-being through yogic philosophy of living. What does it mean? How many people know the yogic philosophy of living that they will understand this?
Yes, sir. There are gaps definitely in the way.
I think you people need to stop all these high funda thinking. Nobody is getting impressed with it. I'm telling you. People are laughing behind their back when they hear this sort of a statement. I'm sorry to say this to everyone. When these statements are made, people laugh behind the back because it very clearly shows you don't know what you are doing. I told repeatedly, take one sample day and tell me what you are doing. Action. What should be written there in the first sentence? By demonstrating yogic poses, I teach yoga. What is the impact of that?
Yogic?
By demonstrating yogic postures, I teach yoga. Isn't that what you do, Tasneem?
Yes, Arunji.
then why not write them? Because of that, what happens? People understand how to do yoga and continue to adopt it. Is the effect of it? And in the process, I contribute to a healthy body and healthy mind in the society. That is the effect, overall effect of all the people doing it in society. Now you see, now you tell me what you are doing is clear or not.
कृष्णन जी,
हाँ जी,
हाँ रेस्पॉन्ड करो ना सर को।
हाँ तो सर को हाँ तो बोल दिया, बिल्कुल डेफिनेटली इट इज क्लियर। अरुण जी, मैंने और हमने ग्रुप, आई मीन एज अ ग्रुप वी थॉट इट फ्रॉम आवर पर्सपेक्टिव. अरुण जी gave us a better perspective.
Now let us go on to next. Kanaka Pratap ji. By writing, I engage the teachers for bringing excellence in students. Anything is understood? What you are doing? If you have to write, I train teachers in the art of teaching. It becomes clear. Teachers, on attending my class, improve their teaching techniques that impact positively on the students' development.
Repeat it, sir. Teachers on attending my class
Learn teaching techniques which impact positively on the students' development. That means the percentage of the students' performance improves. What is the overall impact? The school's annual performance year on year increases through the development of these teachers. Now, what Kanaka Pratap madam?
Yes, sir, I understood. Now I understood clearly.
Isn't this what you want to do?
Yes, absolutely.
That's all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
sir, Atul. Hello, sir.
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी.
You can read it out to sir.
No, what I'm suggesting is, instead of my doing it, now 2 examples I've given. Go back to the drawing board, because otherwise, if we have to do for 24,
हाँ जी.
10 o'clock will simply come like that.
Yes.
Go back to your drawing board, create it, and send your, anchor statement to me.
ठीक है सर.
Or
Done, sir.
post it in the WhatsApp group. Let us all work at it.
Okay,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Room number 2. I want everybody to see, take a sample day. What do you do? What impact it has? Overall impact, what is it? And please forget English. The more grammatical mistakes that are there in it, the better it is. The more we try to make it flowery and, high sounding, less people will understand. Yes.
Sir, from room number 2, I will start with me, sir. And then,
Can I come?
so what I do, I create management systems that my organization follows.
Just
What results?
Every day you do it?
every day the management system work is going on. It's not only the.
Are you creating management systems every day? In a day, if you create one management system, do you realize at the end of the year there'll be 365 management systems?
No, sir, not like that.
Then why are you
create
writing
and-
that?
No, we create and follow. together.
No. What do you really do?
We do the internal auditing. We do the process auditing. We do
Means
product
what?
auditing, like that. Check. We do the check of.
You do
the
it
systems.
personally, or do you have a team of people who do it?
Both, sir. I do my own part, and I have my own team. and,
Overall, what? See, you let us say. Tell me one thing, Bala. You go to the office.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What
sir.
time do you go to the office?
8 o'clock, sir.
8 o'clock. What do you do after that?
I have review meetings first.
Now you have come to the point.
Yes, sir.
Conduct review meetings
Yeah.
with departmental heads and review performance status of various systems in the organization. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That's all. Stop. I counsel non-performing team heads
Okay.
and
So
help them arrive at solutions. Is this what you are doing?
yes, sir.
I'm talking as if I am you.
No, you understood me a lot.
No. But is this what you are doing? That means you go to the office, you conduct review meetings, you look at non-performing people, discuss why they are not performing, and create solutions for performance. Is there
Yes, sir.
anything else?
No.
Maybe one or
It
see,
is
you can add one or two things. That's not that. We are just trying to. I'm just trying to help you understand how to form your anchor statement.
understood, sir. Right, sir.
Then, what is the impact of it?
What is the impact? The first impact of the system follow-up is we have to first retain the customer confidence.
That is okay. You leave all that. What is the impact of this review meeting?
Sustain the current business.
That means that. Why are you keeping on going? Okay, here.
No, I have
This is
written
the
it as
third.
down.
Second.
Yeah.
The result. The
Able to see
second,
my
which
screen?
is the second one. What is the impact of it? This is a two quality as a second. What happens
Yes, sir.
because of that?
Yeah, retain my customer confidence, sir.
No. The effect is that your
okay.
team heads are able to ensure that the systems are followed and the lacunas are overcome, leading to a steady improvement in the quality of implementation. Isn't
Okay.
that the effect? Isn't this the overall? See what happens. You are doing these review meetings.
Yes, sir.
Because of these review meetings, you are addressing the lacunas which exist in your, team members' performance.
Okay.
Please mute all of you, please. So you are reviewing the lacunas.
Okay.
That helps your HODs to arrive at solutions. And when
Yeah.
they implement it, the systems are being followed and the lacunas are getting fixed for better performance. Right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is the impact of it on the company?
Impact of the company is get
Smooth
new
functioning
business.
of all departments leading to higher quality product and customer satisfaction. Isn't the ultimate? Isn't that the ultimate solution that you are giving?
Yes, sir.
That's all right there. Now you create the anchor statement. Leading to better quality product and greater customer satisfaction. Then you don't write business performance.
Better quality
Quality
products.
products and Higher customer satisfaction.
Higher customer satisfaction. Yes, sir.
That's all. Now the one single sentence you read.
Is it okay?
Yes, now you read the full, all three together, then you will see.
So what I will
I conduct review meetings with HODs to review the performance status, counsel the non-performers, and arrive at solutions.
Arrive at the solutions.
Now, next, this ensures that the HODs are ensuring that the system is being followed by fixing the lacunas, leading to go down. Go to the next step.
Okay, understood.
Okay, don't write there. Go down to the next one. Leading to smooth functioning of all departments, leading to better quality products and higher customer satisfaction. Your anchor statement is complete. How long will it take? It will be hardly 3 to 4 sentences.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Clear.
Now let us go to room number 1. Others start working on it like this and post it in the group. Let us take one. The others, you can do it and post it in the group.
Okay.
So shall I stop sharing now?
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. Thank you.
Room number 1.
Yeah. Room number 1 is, room number 1 is us. So let me share the screen. So here it is. Okay, so I will take mine in the end. Yeah. I will start from right to left. Prashant, Prashant, you are there, right? Prashant.
Yes,
Kode.
yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. I'm here.
Yeah. So please, so correct me. So I'm an entrepreneur. I transform businesses to enhance brand value and growth of customers through strategic partnerships and empathetic approach. And this results into sustainable growth of customers.
I am an entrepreneur. Is it what you do?
I mean, there, sir, I had a question like, means as an entrepreneur, we're doing a lot of things every day, right? So,
see, again, I'm telling you, what do you do? Entrepreneur is a state. It is not an action. What do you do? See, supposing somebody you meet in the lift, he asks Shrikant, Prashant, what do you do? What do you say? I'm an entrepreneur. What does it mean to him? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It will convey nothing to him. Then I transform business to enhance brand value. What does it mean? It means nothing. I can't understand what it is. And growth of customer through strategic partnership and empathetic approach. All English language meaning nothing. Can any one of you tell me if you have understood what he does from this? I'm sorry, Prashant, I'm being ruthless, but there is no other way out.
Yeah, that's fine.
You have to get the focus. What do? You get up in the morning, in the whole day, as I was telling, what do you do?
So I participate in account growth meetings, the growth
So
strategy.
you participate in meetings. You conduct meetings.
Yes.
Correct? Right there. You conduct meetings with whom?
The management team.
Don't say management team. You conduct meetings. When you call for a meeting, you have some specific people you call, na? Correct or not? You might call, supposing you are having a meeting with marketing people. Then there will be 3, 4 marketing heads you will call. You will not call the entire marketing team. Supposing you are having a meeting with finance people. You will call 1 or 2 people of the finance, depending upon what you want.
Can we say core team? We can say that. Can we say
who are these core people?
So people from marketing, finance, sales, operations.
So you conduct meeting with group heads. Yes, you can write them.
Okay.
With silo heads. And what do you do in that meeting?
I discuss about the
performance.
Performance, yeah, overall performance.
Yeah. And review performance. And in the process, what do you do?
So in the process, I help customer transform or digitalize.
The customer does not come here. In the meeting, what do you do?
Okay.
All that will come afterwards. In the meeting, what do you do? You discuss with the group heads reviewing performance. If the performance is good, you appreciate. If the performance is bad, what do you do?
So we take steps to
you counsel them. No, don't come to the second. We are still in the first. You counsel them, isn't it? That you are the head, you are the entrepreneur, you are the boss.
Right.
Review performance and counsel. Then you go to the first one, don't go to the second. We are still in the first. What he does is not yet complete. And counsel individuals to improve their performance standards. Am I right or not?
Great actions.
To improve performance standards. To improve. Now come to the second. What is the result of this?
So the result of this is to enhance the brand value. I mean, again, this brand value.
Don't go into brand value and all those. Leave all that. What is the impact? People don't think in terms of, I had a talk with Prashant, my brand value is improved. No, people don't think like that.
Leading to smooth functioning.
No.
Productivity will improve.
Enhanced productivity and understanding of corporate requirement. Isn't that what happens?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Leading to an enhanced productivity and understanding of corporate requirements among my immediate reportees. Now what happens?
So this is about the result, right?
Now what happens to the company?
So leading to higher customer satisfaction.
When just don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. Don't type anything. Wait. First, let us understand. When there is enhanced productivity and understanding of corporate requirement among your immediate reportees, what will happen?
Results will be met and achieved, or goals will be met.
The first impact will be on what?
It will be on the end customers.
Better end customer will come afterwards. Baba, first your employee will come. They are the one you are interacting with immediately. Leading to greater employee satisfaction. It will lead to greater employee satisfaction and performance, isn't it?
Arun sir, actually, these things Prashant is telling to whom? Which audience he is targeting?
No one is telling to wait. Let me complete it first. Then I will explain it to you.
Okay.
Greater employee satisfaction and
individual growth.
Better customer satisfaction. Because a satisfied employee will automatically reflect in better product, better service, and employer customer return satisfaction. Now see your company managing has happened or not. Has it happened? Have you been able to manage the company now?
Yes, it's more
Is it-
clear now.
Huh? I
It's more
conduct
clear now.
meetings with group heads and review performance and counsel individuals to improve performance standards, which leads to an enhanced productivity and understanding of corporate requirements among my immediate reportees. And that means there is greater employee satisfaction and better customer satisfaction. Employee and customer satisfaction. Employee, remove that satisfaction in between after that one. Greater employee and customer satisfaction.
Okay.
This is what is meant by managing the company properly. When you are managing the company properly, you are a successful entrepreneur. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear. It's more
Now,
clear.
Sanjay, your question was, who is he telling it to? Right? He is only
Yes.
articulating what he is. The question was, you are sitting in a restaurant and people are talking behind you and you are hearing. Someone asks, what does this Prashant do here? Oh, he conducts meeting with group heads, reviews performance and counsels individuals to improve performance standards. अच्छा? तो क्या होता है उससे? और क्या होता है? Because of that meeting, he enhances productivity and understanding of corporate requirement among his immediate reportees. उसका impact होता है क्या कुछ कंपनी पर? नहीं होता है क्या? That is greater employee and customer satisfaction because of that. Now you see, the whole answer is clear. Isn't this what you would like to hear, Prashant, your people tell behind your back?
Yeah, Arun sir, this brings more clarity. But again, I mean, when it comes to the context, I mean, wherever the person is actually representing. So depending on the context, won't we need to have a different.
What is the
self-guided-
context? Tell me. If
So
you are
for
an
ex-
entrepreneur, in
Yeah.
which company that you manage, will it change?
No, it won't change. I will say at a micro level, this is pretty much brings
In
in
a
the clarity.
restaurant, when people are talking, what will they talk? They will talk in common language only, na?
No, I completely agree with that. People talking in restaurant, they will definitely talk like this. But
And tell me
people-
one thing, Mr. Prashant. You
Yeah.
meet someone in the lift.
Yes.
How do you know what is his standard? Don't you think it will be better if you talk to him in very simple language so that he understands?
I completely agree. Yes.
And most millionaires are not MBA graduates.
Hmm.
And you see, simple language is effective on everybody. The whole idea is we are in the first step of your brand building. We are not even on the second step.
Okay.
And the
Understood.
more simple and concise you are, the more you learn to think. Can you please stop screen sharing? The more you learn to think in a simple manner, the better it will be. You will be able to convey everything faster.
Hmm.
Please stop the screen sharing if you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
mind.
yeah. Just give me.
Okay. Understood.
नहीं हो रहा, screen sharing stop नहीं हुआ.
नहीं सर कर रहा हूँ. अरे कहाँ गया? हाँ, stop share. It is here.
Yeah. So you see, make it very granular. Don't let us not have any hi-fi sounding stuff. उससे कुछ नहीं होता है. उससे branding क्या है मालूम है? They will say this guy is another Shashi Tharoor. बोलेंगे इसको हटाओ यहाँ से. I'm sure Shashi Tharoor is not a bad guy, but you know, दरवाजा खटखटाया किसी ने, अंदर से आवाज आई, bring forth your vanguard of honor. पता नहीं आपको क्या करना है. वो बोल रहा है come in. अब आप बताओ, अंदर जाओगे, घर जाओगे, कहाँ जाओगे? Where will you go? So simple. Let us keep it very, very simple. Life is very smooth and simple. Let us keep it that way. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what I suggest is all of you go back to your anchor statement. Take one model day. Kya karte ho? Only that. No adjectives, no positions, no status report, nothing. If you are drinking milk, I drink milk. Khatam. Okay, so write like that. What is the impact it has on you? I told you about that servant. Very simple sentence, 3 sentences. People should remember. Then they will remember you. They will remember you for what you do, for the impact you have, the effect you are having. Or they will remember you for a person who, when he opens his mouth, nothing will be understood. You've got a choice. Now let us go back, okay?
Okay, sir.
Now let us see. Doing. A CEO speaks at industry conferences, holds weekly executive staff meetings, and counsels underperforming executives with poor attitude. See, I am writing for myself. So what does this Arun do? He is a CEO, speaks at industry conferences, holds weekly executive staff meetings, and counsels underperforming executives with poor attitude. What is the effect? Having the underperforming executives will have a breakthrough in productivity and attitude. Being, generate a team of executives who are constantly growing in their skills, abilities, and attitudes. What is the sum and substance? The main anchor statement. I am a CEO who addresses industry leaders in conferences, chairs weekly meetings, counsels underperforming executives with a poor attitude, and help them break through with their productivity and attitude, and in the process create teams of executives who are constantly growing in their skills, ability, and attitude. All the 3 is there: doing, having, being. Now, friends, we will break for 5 minutes. We were supposed to be at 9, but it is already 9:20. We'll break for 5 minutes, and then we will come to the next part of it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Should we start?
Yes, sir. Start.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is everyone there?
Very much, sir.
Rajendra ji, are you there?
Recording in progress.
Where is Mr. Rajendra Sapre? I don't see him. Yeah, he's there. Are you there, Rajendra ji? No voice.
Mute. He's on mute.
Okay, let us start. So we just now saw what you do. Now we come to the unique proposition. If your anchor statement answers to the question, what do you do? The unique proposition answers the question, why you? Why you should be selected to do what you do? Some of the, specific attributes. Yes, any questions? Please mute, I can hear background noise.
Arun sir, this is Prashant. I have one question.
Boliye.
You mentioned about the brand identity traps, and
Yes.
in the last slide, actually, it is mentioned that I am a CEO. So this is just a confusion from my side.
Yeah.
Are we not trapping ourselves into this role?
No, that is not past. See, I am mentioning about a hypothetical situation of a CEO creating a brand identity for himself through an anchor statement. The anchor statement is the first step. Now you are an entrepreneur, right? So you are creating a brand identity with your current, not with your past. In the past, you might not have been an entrepreneur, but are you talking about that?
No, current.
Your current you are talking. From the current only you will go to the future, isn't it?
Yes.
So you are talking about currently, what do you do? The question is not what did you do? If the question is what did you do, then we are talking about the past. When we are talking about what do you do, we are talking about the present. And you are creating a brand identity in the present. The brand images of the past. Brand identity is future oriented. Future oriented has to have the present in it. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yes, clear.
That was it was not mine. I am not a CEO. I am a trainer. I was a CEO 2 years back. That was written for a CEO. It was not written for me. It was an example for a CEO. Can we go forward, or is there any more clarification required on this?
No, I think it's good. Yeah.
Thank you. You see, a unique proposition addresses the question, why you? You see, when the world wants some job done, it will look for people, isn't it? Who will come and do the job for them. Why should they come to you? Some of the special attributes your unique proposition may contain are, number one, the specialized background that you have. If you have a specialized background, education, training, experience you possess, some proprietary processes, if you have created, detailed processes you have created and use with clients for which you have the proprietary right. The third is some specific talent that you have that sets you apart from everybody else. What is the talent you bring to the table which others do not have, which they cannot imitate? Content and industry and other niche you have expertise or experience in. Is there anything very special about you? any industry or niche area where you have some sort of an expertise. And then unique solutions or a unique way in which you do things, unusual ways in which you do things. These are all unique propositions. Or something that you do and offer that is hard to imitate and replicate, which is an entry barrier for others. All these things constitute the unique proposition, which makes you the person who should be selected for the job which is to be done. For instance, when Apple came out with a product, they put Gorilla Glass over it so that it cannot be scratched. Now Gorilla Glass is being used in millions of other products, but they were the first people to come with it. That was a unique proposition they gave. They had the touch screen. That was a unique proposition they gave. Afterwards, others copied it. Because you see, nothing is going to remain unique forever. But when for the first time somebody thinks, who is the right person to do this job? If you have to come in the recall, there has to be some specialized background that you have to offer. Maybe some proprietary processes which you hold, which others cannot have. Maybe you have some specific talents which makes you the ideal person for it. Maybe you have some specialization in niche industry. For instance, many companies, when they want a consultant, when they want somebody to advise them, if it is in healthcare, they immediately remember me because they know that Arun Subramanian has got over 40 years of experience in healthcare. He's the right person to go to. Because I have seen healthcare in every aspect, from generics to branded products to, peripheral health care, like anti-cancer range, in infertility, in wound care, in hospital and, management. In all these things, since I have got experience, people feel, that this man has got industry experience. He has got something niche to offer. Is there a unique solution or a unique way in which you work? Like, Atulji, who is here, he was with McKinsey's. He has the unique solution of the 7S processes and the MESSI framework. 7S for interdepartmental exchange of information and collaboration, and MESSI for problem isolation in standalone basis. So you see, all these processes he is able to offer in a niche way. What is it which is hard to imitate and replicate about you? Like, for instance, DocEasy is trying to bring in IoT into healthcare management, digital healthcare management. Now, that is something which is difficult to replicate by others. Not that it will not be replicated, but ultimately they might replicate it. But initially, it forms a barrier, entry barrier. Now, what unique proposition you have? Now, how will you identify this unique proposition? That is key to everything. You will have to do this evaluation yourself. Today, go back, take a screenshot of this, prepare an Excel sheet. Personality, experience, skills, knowledge, ability, deliverables, methods. Under all these heads, evaluate yourself. Cold is no impact. Neutral is neither good nor bad. You are not giving something very great. Cold is a negative thing. Neutral is, no impact. Hot, that means yes, you are able to give something. How is your personality viewed by people? Do you look professional? If not, cold. If it is neither good nor bad, I am very common, neutral. Yes, the moment I walk in, people feel here is a professional. Then you are hot. Now, who is your competitor? Main competitor, who do you see as your main competitor in your particular field? You might have one or two people. Take a person against whom you feel you are better, and take a person who you feel is better than you. Now, check out their personality. Where do you stand in comparison to them? So you will have one evaluation of the self and two competitors, one who you consider to be poorer than you and one who you consider to be better than you. In terms of experience, how do you rate yourself? Do you feel you are got very high experience? If not, low experience scored, neutral, nothing special to talk about. You've got lots of experience, you're hot. Now you're a competitor. What is the situation there? Then skills. How do you rate your skills? In all these things, try as far as possible not to go by the past. Don't get influenced by past failures. Be as objective as possible in your current state. Knowledge. What is your knowledge in terms, how do you rate yourself in terms of knowledge for what you have created? You have created an anchor statement. This should align with that anchor statement. If you say that you conduct review meetings, how good are you in conducting review meetings? Do you know the latest techniques of conducting review meetings? Do you follow the old feedback method or have you graduated to the feed-forward method? What are the advantages of the way you are conducting the meeting? How professional it is? How knowledgeable are you in the areas in which you are conducting the meetings? Are you understanding what I am telling?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Getting it.
Yes, sir.
Review
getting it, sir.
yourself in all those areas with your anchor statement. You might know very well how to cook, but if your anchor statement does not say you cook, don't go into it. Because your brand is going to start with your anchor statement. What you do. You have mentioned what you do. The question here is why you should be selected to do that and why not somebody else. So this should be totally aligned with that. Tasneem says, I demonstrate yoga postures and teach yoga. So she should totally go by her knowledge, her skill, her personality for yoga. A yoga teacher having a big tummy is not going to be called a good personality. A yoga teacher should be trim. A yoga teacher should look at least 20 years younger than what his or her age is. A yoga teacher should know all the details about the yoga postures, the history of the yoga posture, how it came about, what are the advantages, disadvantages, under which circumstances it should be done, it should not be done. Everything, that is knowledge. Now, Tasneem should take two people. One, someone who is better than her, who she thinks is better than her, and someone who she thinks is not as good as her, but competing with her. And then she should evaluate herself and evaluate both of them in all these counts. When you do that, you will see where it is you feel you are better than someone and why. And you will know why that other person is better than you and what you need to do. When you are looking at your competitor, you can be more or less sure that's how that competitor is being looked at by others also. The current use cases, the current scenario is what you are looking at them as and how you are evaluating yourself. And when you are evaluating yourself, please give a plus minus 20% to it, because in some cases, you will run yourself down too much. In some cases, you will exaggerate your abilities. Try to be as objective as possible, because this is all about your being able to create a correct brand identity. Is it clear? Any questions?
No, sir. It's clear.
Take a screenshot of this. Deliverables is how far you are good at keeping your promise and commitment. How good you are at keeping your promise and commitment. When you make a commitment, how much of strain and effort do you take to ensure that that commitment is kept? Okay. Ability is if you are a hands-on person. Like Mandar was telling that he only creates the schedule, he only allocates the resources. How precise and how optimally he has been able to do it. But if you are the type, like Prashant was telling that he works through teams, then ability will be how good he is at delegating, how good he is at being able to collaboratively come to a solution which is in favor of the company. If he is a type who intends to more or less impose his opinions on others, then ability is weak. Ability means for a person who is working as a team, collaborative ability. For a person who is himself doing things, then it is execution ability. How perfectly he is able to execute. And if somebody is carrying out orders for somebody else, ability is satisfaction ability. How well he is able to satisfy his immediate superior by delivering what he wants. So the ability will vary from person to person. Like in the case of Bala, where there is technical ability, management systems and other things, how well he is able to conceive those management systems. In the case of Mr. Rajendra Sapre, where it is a question of IoT, how well he is able to visualize situations and the use of digitization for those situations. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. With respect to the ability, it is very clear, sir.
What is it not clear about?
No. Since I know, sir, I know that you will ask this question. Since you have explained about ability at
I'm
different levels.
just trying to tell that each and every one of these has to be aligned to your statement, to your anchor statement.
How does the methods part actually, methods is the
What
process
methods
aspect,
do
no?
you use?
Okay.
What sort of a method do you use? Based upon the type of work you do.
Okay.
Now, you see, some people pick up the phone and talk. Some people believe in sending a mail. Some people go personally and discuss. Communicating something can be done in all these three methods. Based upon, now supposing you are a person who normally believes in picking up the phone and talking, and your competitor is able to achieve better than you, the person who you think to be a competitor, you find he is doing better. He is able to create a better team than you. When you check up, you might find he is a person who believes on one-on-one personal physical interaction. Now you know that physical interaction has a greater mileage than talking over the phone. And the person who is slightly less than you in effectiveness, he is a person who believes in sending emails. He neither picks up the phone nor goes and talks. Are you understanding what I'm telling? It's not necessary. This is how it should be. But I'm just for the sake of example, I'm telling.
It's a relative phenomenon.
So you see, what method do you use? What is the method of your working? In problem resolution, do you give solutions or do you seek solutions? As a consultant, are you asking your customer to give you solutions by showing them where to look, or you look and find the solutions? Which one do you use? Consultants are there of both these types, isn't it? There are those who are hands-on. They simply go and solve the problem and come. And there are those who nudge and ensure that the customer goes in the direction of the problem. What method do you use? See, this is overall to help you understand what is your core, why you. Supposing someone were to ask you why I should appoint you, you can tell. You should appoint me because I take ownership of your problem and do it myself. The other person will say, you should appoint me because I take ownership of the problem and help you understand how to do it, so that again, if it comes, you will be able to do it. Should we proceed further?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now you'll have to craft your unique proposition. We are just 10 minutes away. So I'll explain this slide, and then what we will do is tomorrow, tonight you will do this exercise of creating the chart. You will work on this chart tonight. For all these 7 traits, you will evaluate yourself, you will evaluate your competitor. 2 people. Then tomorrow morning, I'm explaining this to you now. What is it you provide that will make them say, yes, that's what I'm looking for? This is your unique proposition. Immediately, they should say, yes, this is precisely what I'm looking for. Second thing is, what do you do that is difficult to imitate? They should not be able to imitate it very easily. It should take them time to understand and then time to replicate it. What is it your audience doesn't know that you don't know about? What is it that they don't know about that you know? In other words, what is it that you provide that may never have thought about or articulated, but when they hear it, a light bulb goes off in their mind and they say, yes, that's what I'm looking for. That is your unique proposition. They must have never thought about it. They have a company has a problem. They come to a consultant. They ask for quotations. They get 10 quotations. They have interviews. They do all the interview. They come to you and you give your proposition. They stand up and say, this is precisely what we were looking for. At that stage, it should stop. After that, they should feel we don't need to go any further. What do you do that is difficult to imitate? What do you bring to the party that is hard for most of your competitors to match? They should not be able to match it. If they match it, you are a commodity. You are not a brand. Is it clear? I want you to take a snap of both these. This one, please take a snap of this.
Sir, in this, we have to enter numbers here.
No, you have to write what is it.
Okay.
But if it is code, you say, your personality, you feel, let us say you feel that your personality is not impressive. As a process automation expert, your personality is not impressive.
Okay.
Right, cold. You are, okay. You are okay. Then neutral. And you're hot. People realize, you enter into the room that, yes, here is an expert. Now match this personality with someone who is weaker than you. Maybe you are in an office, isn't it? You are working in a company, isn't it, Sanjay?
Yes, sir.
Take 2 people from your company. One you feel has stolen a march on you. And the other who is lagging behind.
Okay.
Are there 2 people like this?
Yes.
Take these 2 people and do assessment on all these criteria with them.
Okay.
Okay, do it and see where it stands.
Right. Sir, in the last slide, those two questions, the left brain and right brain were shown.
No. Don't go by all that. That is the infographics.
Okay. Right.
Nothing to do with the right and left brain.
Okay. Right.
Okay. What is it you provide that will make them say, yes, that's what I am looking for? And here, what do you do that is difficult to imitate? Because your unique proposition should light a bulb in the mind of the people to whom you are presenting it, and they should feel, yes, I want this. And the competitor, when he comes to know he has lost the game to you, he should not be able to imitate you that very easily. Otherwise, taking it forward will become difficult. What is it? Is there anything in you? It could be anything. It need not be a process. It could be personality. It could be ability. It could be deliverables. It could be anything under the sun. It could be methods. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Tomorrow morning, we will start with a breakout room where each of the team, each of the member will create their unique proposition statement. One single sentence. One sentence only, not more than that. What is it that you are bringing to the table which will make you the go-to person? Why people should come to you? Okay? Yes, any questions on today's?
Sir, one more thing regarding the table which you had mentioned just now. You said, sir, give around plus minus 20% to your views because we can lack objectivity, right?
Plus minus 20%. Maybe in some places you might have, what it means is it is an approximation.
Okay.
You see, normally we are very critical of others and very generous with ourselves.
Yeah.
But that is not a thumb rule because some people are very generous with others and very critical of themselves.
Okay.
So giving a plus minus 20% is always better.
Okay.
If you say, I'm very handsome, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. But if you really are good looking, there is nothing much to say. Okay, if you say, I am always on dot, on deliverables. Okay, let's take plus minus 20% on it. Chances are out of 180% of the time you will be on dot, 20% still things could go wrong.
Yes, okay.
If you say I am super capable, again we will give 20% plus minus. We will say that yes, you attempt at super capability, but there are instances when you have failed in the past because of your own mistakes. You understand what I mean?
Yes, sir. Only thing, like the second question, what you say, what do you do that is difficult to imitate?
Yes.
Actually, everything can be copied in course of time.
In course of time, everything can be copied. No doubt about it. Commoditization is how the industry moves. But what is it you do that is difficult to imitate immediately? Let us say you are a person, I'll tell you about myself. I always throw extra 25% in everything that I do. It is very difficult to imitate by others. Not only in this, throughout my life, in everything that I do, I'm so obsessed with giving more than what people expect that my competitors in the office and in other places have always found it very difficult. Because I'm willing to sacrifice my family life for that. Are you willing to do that?
Okay. So basically going the extra mile.
What is it? Obviously, in my case, it is the extra mile. In your case, it could be a process which you know, which others don't know.
Okay.
It could be a shortcut to a solution which you know, which others don't know. In case of Tasneem, she might know one or two tricks of how to enhance flexibility, which other yoga teachers might not know. There are teachers, who can ensure that students learn better because of some gimmicks that they do better. They are better in handling children with learning disabilities better than other teachers. So what is it which is extra in you, which others cannot imitate?
Okay. Sir.
Yeah, any other questions? So tonight you are all doing this chart, and tomorrow morning you are coming and writing the unique proposition. And one more thing. A few of you have still not filled up that form. Personal branding form has not been filled up by a few of you. It's okay with me if it is okay with you. If you are satisfied and happy with the incomplete branding process, I have nothing to say. But I would feel very happy if all of you were to fill it up, because that will be a foundation for you to start working on. Not that it is going to be perfect, but it will be a beginning. And that will help you to move forward during the course in a better way. And at the end of the course, whether you want to create a brand of yourself or not, you will understand yourself better and you will understand what you want to do better. I think, awareness is half the battle won. Once you are aware of what you really are, once you are aware of what you would like to be, once you are aware of where you are, and once you are aware of where you want to go, it's only a question of the right trigger which will set you in motion in that direction. So friends, please fill up the form.
So once we fill up the form, can we get a copy of it, sir? That same questionnaire?
Why not? Why not?
There's a provision feature in that to get a copy.
I will send it to you. Why do you want the feature in it?
Okay, right.
I will send a copy of it to each one of you. Your copy, of course, not others' copy. But I will send your copy to you. No,
Arunji, we can take a print on PDF. Just say Control P PDF to PDF, and you will get the complete form in PDF.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Before submitting.
Will you also sit and analyze that form for us with us?
Tasneemji, you are writing the form. Why do you want an analysis of it? You know what you are, man.
No.
No, see, I am not a psychoanalyst.
No, you are everything. Don't say I'm not this and I'm not that.
No, not at all.
Arunji,
Not at all.
Arunji, please listen to me.
We'll have 100 comments on what we wrote, sir. We would like to hear that.
Absolutely
we would
no
like
comments.
to. We have been so used to
no. I got no business.
Arunji.
I've got
Arunji,
no
listen,
business
please.
commenting on anyone. I will
Arunji,
not.
please listen to me. Please listen to me. You have been, scrutinizing us from top to bottom. Now, finally, when we have written about ourselves, if you're not going to scrutinize that, if you're not going to tell us on our face that, okay, this is not right, that is not right, then how are we going to improve, Arunji?
This is precisely what is called as brand image. So you have a brand image of me being a person who is inquisitive about everyone and keep poking his nose into everyone else's business. By the way, that is not the identity that I am trying to project.
We have given you the permission to do so, Arunji.
I don't
Don't
want
worry
to
about
do
it.
I don't
Yeah,
want
we
to
are
do
given
it.
the trespass, sir. We are given the trespass.
Yeah, we have given you
no
that.
comments from my side, Shyam.
I
Absolutely
will call
no.
you up. I will call you up and
Yeah,
I'll take my
personally,
comment.
we can discuss, no, sir.
No, I will not enter into that discussion. It's none of my business. And it is, you don't get trapped into all these things. You see, I'll tell you, I'll ask you one question. Do you think I've ever lied in my life?
So then we would not have come to you, sir.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. Do you think I ever lied in my life?
We don't know that.
What do you mean you don't know that? Don't be so, come on, Shyam, you are old
You
enough
must
to
have
be
been.
truthful.
You must have been diplomatic.
I must have
not
lied a
lied.
million times. And then what makes you think when you telephone me, I will not lie to you about you?
But why will you lie?
No, no, this
You
is a
want us
frank
to
and
be
free.
better.
Leave it. See, this is a course for branding that you will have to do yourself. I am only a guide. I only show the direction. I'll get out of the way. I've got no business making personal comments on anybody.
Sir, can we see that slide again, that we have to do exercise today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a wonderful question, Tulji.
This is what is meant by age and wisdom.
Now, this is the other one, sir.
Wait, first take a screenshot of this.
Yeah, this has been taken.
So you will be reviewing at least this presentation, isn't it?
Huh?
You will be reviewing this presentation and give your feedback.
Yes, sir. Next, any other?
So there's one more. Yeah. Okay, so from the previous sheet, whatever points you are actually scoring, so on the basis of that, we will create this statement, right?
You see,
Wherever it
that
is
will,
not-
that will form the foundation of your understanding what unique proposition you bring. You see, today, you are not very clear of what unique proposition you offer. You are not clear. See, you have a vague idea. I have a good personality. In comparison to what? Now, you see, supposing, let us say you have a problem. You have a problem at home, let us say. God forbid, you should never have. And you have a deliverable at office. Which are you willing to sacrifice?
The problem at the home.
Then your office deliverable is better. If your statement, your brand statement, your brand identity anchor statement is focused on this, then if you sacrifice the problem at home for the office, you have scored 1 up. But if your brand identity is of a person who is caring, concerned about his family, and you sacrifice that for office, your whole damn thing is, absolutely haywire. So what is it? What you really are on these 7 parameters? See, all the 7 parameters of brand identity have to be tuned. Let us say you give here deliverables 100%. And in your tone and temperament, you put casual. Do you think it is matching? Do you think a person who is 100% concentrated on deliverables will ever be casual?
No.
Huh? Then you put on one side methodology as delegating, and tone and temperament is type A personality. Will a type A personality ever be able to delegate? So you see, when you do this, you know where the lacunas are coming, where you are fooling yourself. Please believe me, Shyam, you are not fooling anybody in this world. If at all you are fooling anybody, you are only fooling yourself.
Yeah, that is true.
So this exercise of all these 7s will ensure that you realize what you really are. See, disharmony in relationship, disharmony in position, failures, all these occur because of our not understanding ourselves. There is this statement for doctors: physician, heal thyself. First you heal yourself, then you go and heal the world. There is another statement: charity begins at home. Means first you understand yourself. Once you understand yourself, you are in a much better position to create a brand identity for you, which will resonate with what you are doing. Otherwise, there will be contradictions. You will be talking about yourself in a particular way, and people will be looking at you in a different way. This is one of the major reasons why people fail to march ahead. How many times have we heard, I was expecting the promotion, someone else got it. Have we heard this or not? Why? Why, when you were expecting a promotion, did someone else get it? Because The way you looked at yourself was not the way your boss looked at you. You looked at yourself as indispensable. Your boss looked at you as being dispensable. Do you realize the gap which exists? You think of yourself as a hotshot executive. Others think of you as a, something in the backside. How far are you going to go ahead in your career? So you see, we need to be able to understand what exactly we are. That is what the whole game of branding is about. That is the reason, most people fail in their personal branding, because they don't understand themselves. They go by superficial things. And once you understand this, as you keep writing each of these statements, each of these you identify, you will be able to align everything and bring it all together to create a beautiful picture of who you really uniquely are. Everyone is unique. Everyone has got qualities. It only requires to be brought to the surface, and the only person who can do it is you. No one else can do it for you. No one else can do it for you. Be 100% sure of it. Okay, folks, good night. We will meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I hope you'll all do your homework and take some extra time off. Those people who have not filled up the form, and please fill it up. Thank you. Thank you for the patient hearing.